Welcome everybody to episode 5 of the Life of Cortez. Today we're going to be doing an Sbd Cup preview show featuring Hugo May
Yup.
and David Hoffman.
LFG.
Hello.
How are you boys?
I'm not too bad.
So Sbd Cup is next week and you know we're posting this on Friday the week before.
Yep.
And if people start doing their last heavies and saying, oh, you didn't factor this, factor that, well, unlucky, bro.
We tried, bro. We tried to delay it as long as we can so we can see as much as we can. But look, and some of you guys don't be posting anything anyway. So it's like, come on now.
For real. Like, if you're also competing, like, odds are you probably shouldn't be listening to this and you should just focus on you, boo-boo.
Yeah. Don't be neurotic like that. Keep scrolling.
All right.
That's very true.
So to break it down, we're going to break down first how Sbd Cup works. David, would you mind doing the honors of doing that?
Sure, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm going to go ahead and, spit a bunch of stuff. But my understanding is that it's Sheffield style. So basically what they're going to do is your total as a percentage of the current national record is going to be converted into points, i.e. if you total 99.28% of the national record, you get 99.28 points. If you total 102.4% of the national record, you get 102.4 points. And whoever has the most points at the end of the day walks away, as the winner.
Yep, that's correct.
Do you know what the payouts are?
I believe it's 5,500 total for prize money, and then $150 per record. I don't know how that's split. I'm gonna guess it's like 1,500 for the winner, and then maybe like 750 for second and 500 for third. That's my guess. Something like that.
So it's going to be like a bunch of records that's going to be broken.
Yeah.
And that includes the total record as well, right?
Yep.
Mad.
Something to note with that is that they're allowed to break national records at this competition, right? So they can chip.
They can chip, yeah.
Yes, correct. Yep, they can chip. And I believe they also get counted as well. Like, that'll actually update the records for Nationals 2025.
Yeah, I believe that's true as well, which is going to make the day a lot more exciting. So it's good to know.
Now, if you look from the other Sheffields, or like the this year and last year, what are the main takeaways that we've learned?
I would say that cutting a weight class is kind of OP. Like, when you're able to go down to a different weight class, it's not just, your GL gets multiplied better. It's that the standards in those other weight classes usually are not as crazy. So I think this year at Sheffield, you're going to see Kajel. He's going to go berserk in the 66 and he's just going to be completely unbeatable. And we're seeing a bit of that strategies looking for the Sbd Cup. People looking to move down a weight class because that percentage of the total becomes a lot more feasible to break, right? So yeah, that's the main takeaway. And also people go hard. So
yeah, that was going to be my one. People just send it.
Yeah, legit. Like, people go crazy. They go berserk. Like, this is, at IPF Worlds, we see a lot more of like safe plays generally. But at these style of meets, people just sort of send it, like, really look to get to that top end 100%, try to break records, stuff like that. So
yeah, I think for me, I think if people don't get too greedy with records, they'll probably put themselves in a better chance to win overall. But if people start trolling, which is highly inevitable.
Oh, it's inevitable. Like, I think this comp, like what we're going to see, it doesn't matter who it is, there's going to be trolling. We've got 24 high-level lifters going at each other. There's going to be some trolling at hand.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, it's just a matter of who makes lifts, who can push the limits, and we're going to highlight who can do it.
Yep.
Now, we're going to do a quick roster breakdown of the male and female side. So starting off, we see a lot of 52 kilo lifters, especially Zin, Kate Nax, Liz Craven, and Vicky. So we see Liz move down a weight class from the 57. She is the 57 kilo national champion, but then she opted to move 52.
Yep.
And then we also see Vicky come up to 52 as well.
Yeah, and the reason for that is that her record in the 47s is actually higher than the 52s. So
yeah, so it just makes sense for her, and as well as I think it's just good for competition as well.
Yeah, it's also good to see that we've got
not having the cut again is great.
Yeah, that'll be huge, and then hopefully the refs are a bit nicer at this comp. No evil jury at Sbd Cup.
And especially at 52, she like as we mentioned, she probably doesn't really need to cut leading into this comp,
Yeah.
and as well as like it also kind of helps her for nationals as well. She doesn't have to push her own record,
Yeah, exactly.
so
And
that
then
just kind of helps.
yeah, it's also like that
Yeah,
thing
that's sick.
where just next nationals she's going to have more chips available as well, which is good for her long term.
All right, now moving on, we have the 69 kilo weight class. We have Kate Atia and Brittany Romas.
Yeah, Brittany Roma's moving down a weight class, correct?
Yeah, from 76 to 69. And then we have Kate. I thought there was some rumors that like she was going to move up a weight class, I believe, but then she opted to stay in the 69 kilo weight class. Very cool battle there.
Yeah, monster pull. But yeah, same thing with Brittany, like same thing as Vicky. Set a crazy national record and then just dip the weight class because it's very difficult to push that 76 record.
And then in the 76 kilogram weight class, we have Shania Kelly Fagan. I haven't seen her lift before, but she's very strong.
Yes.
And then we have the return of Isabel Lovin-Weisenberg.
Good pronunciation there. She is the GOAT.
Clean.
Bit of a
Yeah.
demon.
Yeah. So she hasn't been on the platform for 2 years. Since Nationals 2022, I believe.
Yep.
But she only just got back into the swing of training and she's looking very strong.
She is looking very, very strong.
And then in the women's side, we have 84 kilograms, Beth versus Yanni, running it back.
This
Ages
is very exciting. I'm very excited to see this.
Yeah. So obviously Yanni hasn't competed in the IPF for like, I don't know, 6 years, 7 years?
Yeah, she had that
For a very long time.
city strength comp
Yeah.
recently, where she did great.
Recently, yeah, until recently. And
Very recent.
yeah, her versus Beth is going to be a very tight matchup.
Yep. All right, moving on to the men.
Just quickly, before we jump on that, I wasn't actually aware of this until literally today, but I didn't realize that Shay had pulled out as well of the 63 kilo class. To my knowledge, I thought she was still competing.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, she pulled out, I believe.
I mean, it's just
Yeah, right, okay.
with these comps, right? Like a lot of these high level athletes, sometimes it's just not feasible to push the body too hard this many times in the year. And if you're not sort of set up for the prize money or you're not in a good spot in your training, it's just better to,
Yeah, and I
not do it.
think for her, she's kind of like a victim to her own success because her national record is so high
Yeah, ridiculous.
to where like her trying to push even harder is probably gonna take a bit more time, a bit more development, and a bit more momentum in her training.
Yep.
But she's just literally so good.
Yeah.
I think she's one of our highest ranking places in the worlds
Yeah, for sure.
for Australia.
Between her and Vicky, they're like the two people that actually place in the top 5 every time they go to Worlds.
So for her, yeah, she's just so good that she can't even push her own national record at the moment. So
Yeah.
to me, that's very valid.
Very
She wanted
valid.
to pull out.
Yeah.
All right, now moving on to the men's, Hugo.
We have in the 66, we've got Andrew True.
True.
Yeah.
True.
True. Andrew True.
Nice.
Andrew, nice guy. True. Very true. Yep, he's looking good. 66. Excited to see what he puts up. In the 74, we have Kayan. Bit of a crazy up-and-coming lifter. I mean, just the GL progression on him alone is like, got to be one of the highest for the men's, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. Very, very strong. In the 83, this is an exciting one. We've got James Lee and Emilio. I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name. Both two incredibly entertaining lifters is what I'll say about those two. Very similar, actually, in the way that they kind of go about things, but they will be very interesting. And then, of course, we've got Kana Chambara.
Chambara.
Yeah, very, very strong. He's looking crazy right now. And same thing with the 83s, is just he's pushed that record really high. So it'll be interesting to see if he can push it even further, and I think he can. 93s, we have Josh Takua. Geez, bit of a demon.
Bit of a demon, yeah.
How long-
USAPL.
How long
Straight
has
into
it been since he's been in the IPF? It's been...
Probably since like his last meet at Worlds, which was like 2015, 16,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah,
It was like one of those
Looking at it
international
right
meets.
now.
we've got David Hoffman on the case.
Oceania PF, which was 2016, but there was a PA meet in 2018.
Was that before the riff? That's probably
Yeah,
like
that was before, I
before
think.
the riff.
2018, yeah, I think so. The thing, it looks like it's, yeah. around 2018, I would say 2018, 2019 was the last time he was, I think, associated with the IPF. But his last Worlds or like official IPF was, I think, Commonwealths in 2015, and then there was Oceanias in 2016. So it's been a minute.
It's been a long time.
Jeez,
since he's last
that is
stepped in the
crazy.
IPF.
That is crazy. He is a veteran of the sport.
Very decorated resume, especially in his powerlifting career. Like
Yep.
he's been to a lot of invitational meets, been a lot of international meets. Generally has to travel to compete, so he's very reliable if that's the case.
Yep.
In terms of how he will pull up, his attitude towards the day. But yeah, it has been a long time for him in the IPF, and we'll get to him later.
And then we also have Ewan Belgrove, who recently moved up to the 93s for last nationals. He's been filling out the class, the mini fridge, monster squat on him. Hasn't been posting too much of his other training though, has he?
Nah, it's pretty much just
It's
squat.
pretty much just squat. So
Yeah.
we'll see how he does. We'll get to him later. And then 105s, David, you want to run through it? You know them. You know the boys.
Couple of the boys. Yeah, so in the 105 class, we have Tom Chaplin, Yanni Muselis. That's probably butchered. Sorry, Yanni. Hung Pham, Michael Rand. That's going to round out the 105 boys there. I think, did we hear a rumor about Rand potentially competing as a 120 as well, or has that been squashed?
So basically on the list, he was registered as a 120. I mean, he could register as a 120, but
He might just weigh in a bit light.
on the day, basically you can change your weight classes. It's like a local level.
Damn.
Like-
Yeah, you can just weigh in wherever you land is good to go.
Yeah, but with these,
Yeah, okay,
with this kind of comp specifically, like really hitting those weight borders is so important because the jump between national records between weight classes is usually pretty ridiculous. So
It's pretty crazy, yeah. So oh, sorry. I was going to say, to dive into the 105s a little bit more, I think the most important thing to touch on is the fact that all of these guys pretty much total the exact same number. Like, we had that three-way podium on 822.5 at Nationals, where three-way tie was a bodyweight podium. And then I think it was the weekend before, Hung actually went 822.5 as well at a USAPL comp. Although he was under 100.
Under 100, yeah.
I thought he did that after, as like a
It was like a week before, a week after. It was right there.
yeah, that's crazy.
So it's just to be like, okay, this is ridiculous. They're all going to be super, super close. And it's really interesting because a lot of these lifters are really different. So you've got like Tom Chaplin and Yanni, who are like the total specialists. They're like very well rounded across the board. And then you've got Hung, who can handle and hang with the boys on squat. His bench is a little bit lower than those guys, but then he comes back with the pull. So it's going to be really, really cool to see, what he does when he has the final say. Because he'll be up there pulling, right next to Sam Butterworth for that last pull. So he gets to decide, like, do I want to pull for third, second, first? What do I actually want to do here? He gets to hold the cards for, basically the entire comp here.
Back on the 822.5 thing, he did it according to Open Powerlifting one day after. So I think it was very sort
There
of
you go.
intentional.
Yeah, it was right near it.
One
Yeah.
day. That's crazy. He's like,
And the
I'm
fact
running.
that it was under 100 as well,
Yeah.
like he probably has a bit
Yeah.
more space to like eat up, recover well leading into
Yeah.
this prep, and he does look pretty strong.
He's looking devious. And then final lifter, your boy.
Yep. Touched on him just before. Sam Butterworth in the 120 kilo class. So no stranger to the IPF. He's been around for ages now. I think he's going to have a good day. From what I can see, obviously I train at the same gym as him, so training's been good. I think he's been no stranger at posting. He's been posting his last blocks. He's been posting his run into comp as well. So it's going to be cool to see what he does. I don't actually know like what his strategy is for or goals for the comp are. So I'm not sure if he's really chasing, single lift records, the overall total records. So it'll be good to see how he plays out and where he lands in amongst Tonganator's total record.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. Tonganator, definitely a bit of a monster, set some crazy standards in that weight class. It'll be nice to see Butterworth catching back up.
I also think for Sam as well, like there's no like really external direct pressure.
Yeah.
He just has to like try and make as many lifts as possible, try PR as hard as he can. He doesn't really have to load up a specific number to pull to win, because ultimately, like, the deadlift record is his, so he just has to kind of just beat himself.
Yep. And I think
the deadlift record is actually the standard, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, because he didn't even hit it, because he missed.
No, he didn't, because he had to jump past it to try and pull for the win. So I'm pretty sure it's still the Australian standard at like 352.5, I think. So I think that'll get claimed.
Yeah. Well, the thing with deadlift specialists that we see is just in general, when the pressure's off them, that's when they can really, really just perform, especially with that conventional pull. Like, he should be pretty dialed in, know what he's going to hit. So definitely a big deadlift out of him.
And some really big progress coming out of his squat.
Yep, huge.
A lot more than what I initially thought in my prediction sheet. But then I had a look at his Instagram page. I'm like, oh damn, this guy actually put on like 10 keys to his squat from his comp best at 305, I believe.
Yeah, very nice.
So boys, how do we see the kind of day playing out? Let's start off with the women's, and I'll give my first predictions as well. So obviously, like, there's two major glaring weight classes. That's probably going to be like where the records and the most highest potential to win comes from. Because no one hit the national record total for the 52 kilo weight class, that's why we see the 52 kilo weight class so highly contested. With people coming down from 57 and people moving up from 47. The likes of Vicky and Liz Craven. So I think 52 is a very high contentious weight class for winning. And I also think 84 kilograms is also a really high potential to win as well.
Yep.
Because Beth, and she would say herself, she probably didn't have her best performance.
Yep.
That doesn't match the 530 that she did at Adonis Campbelltown. And it's like 510 kilos. I feel like she has a lot of room to improve, as well as Yanni as well. And them going head-to-head will actually be very exciting.
Definitely a great way to cap off the day as well, because you're kind of starting with the favourite weight class, which is going to be the 52s just off predictions. Like, it's looking like the favourite to win, but at the end of the day, the 84s do get the final say. So that is going to be really entertaining. Something else to note, the 76s could definitely win it as well.
Yeah, with Isabella van Weisenberg especially.
Yep.
If she has like a meet that's close to some of her world performances, she's definitely in the driver's seat to kind of push really hard.
For sure. And I think there's definitely an advantage to going later in the day, right? It depends on how the flights are set up, but definitely they'll be able to sort of calculate what they're going to pull and sort of have that in mind, you know, maybe take a more conservative squat, leave something for the pull. So definitely the heavier weight classes have a bit of an advantage at this comp because they get to sort of see what they need to hit beforehand. But the 52 record is quite low, so the 52s are the favourites, I would say.
Yeah, but not only that, one thing we also got to note is because it's based off percentage of total, if a 52 kilo were to slip and miss, the impact that it has to the percentage is
huge.
Really big.
Yeah, it's very high risk, high reward in those lower weight classes, right? You know, like they jump 10 kilos and miss it, they're pretty much out for the day.
Pretty much out.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really tight, and who can ever make lifts?
Yeah, so that's just generally like what the day's looking like if you're scouring open powerlifting and stuff like that. Moving on to the men's, there is one very, very clear favourite when you're scouring through, and that's Josh Takua. He is just deviously strong. That 93 record is still a national standard as well.
Standard, yeah. No one really did it last time.
Same thing as the 52s with the national standards. Definitely a lot of an advantage at this first Sbd Cup. But moving forward, I think in the future, Sbd Cup's going to be really, really entertaining the way that the record, people are going to be shifting around weight classes. But definitely Josh Takua, I mean, just an absolute demon. It's really just going to depend on can he hit APA standards, like IPF standards. That's pretty much...
Yeah, that's going to be my biggest question mark. It's more so just around like hitting IPF level depth.
Yep.
Running through a faster meet.
Yep.
Because it's going to be very quick.
Yep.
Like not many lifters in his flight.
It's also... When's lift off for prime time? It's like 4 p.m. or something.
Yeah, it's like it goes late into
pretty late in
the
the
night.
afternoon.
Yeah, that's going to be definitely very different to what he's used to. But but he
I think he trains in the evenings.
yeah he
though.
does. He trains really late at night. This
he
guy
should-
trains.
I think he's going to be chilling. I think he's going to be chilling with it.
He's like, oh, 4 p.m. perfect. That 1 hour after I woke up,
Yeah.
locked in. But geez, that guy's quads are so goddamn humongous. Like when you watch the videos, it's like oh my god. So like physically, like hitting depth for him is a challenge because his quads are the size of me. So
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
So I think just to put into perspective, the current record for the 93s is 785, and Josh is going to go well into 800s. I think if he has like a day where he only hits openers, he'll be like probably 30 kilos above the national record just on openers. So like it's going to be, you know, him versus him really at the end of the day.
He is the man to beat. He is the man to watch. Just off of predictions, right? On a low end day, like a bad day, Josh Takua probably going to score around 103 points, so 103% of the record.
Yeah, that's
And
like if he
pretty
trolls his all his third
Yeah.
attempts, pretty much.
And we only have sort of 2 lifters looking able to beat above 103 on a good day.
Yeah.
So Josh Takua, even 6 for 9, is a monster.
Yeah, Josh Takua, please, if you're going to listen to this, just make as many lifts as possible. Like barely chip the records. You don't need them, to be honest.
keep it Ilche.
Yeah, keep it chill because you don't need to blow the records out of the water.
Yep.
If you can just like take some as you go, but yeah, it's mainly important for him to hit the standards, especially.
Yeah, definitely. Especially that sort of deadlift lockout is a bit difficult in training, and the squat depth because his legs are humongous. But definitely exciting to see. I'm really hoping to see an 800 plus total from the 93s. We recently had Adam Jones get really close, but I do think that's a milestone Australia in the 93s should be getting past in the APA.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. And the other favourite we have is Hung Pham.
Yeah, that 105 battle.
That 105 battle is going to be amazing, and Hung is going to be able to have that last say because he's got that monster pull, right? So, you know, the maths in the back room is going to be pretty important for this comp, actually. So I'm hoping the coaches go and make a special spreadsheet for this one.
Dave's in the back. He's going to be...
Dave's in the back with... We're back. David's spaceship went past Jupiter, so...
Yeah, bro, I don't know what was going on. You're in the middle of talking, and then all of a sudden I couldn't hear anything.
He's actually on the spaceship from Interstellar, so he's actually 50. We're all 50 years older now, so very unfortunate.
Yeah, that's me.
But yeah, where were we? Hung Pham.
Hung Pham, yeah.
Definitely, I've got him as one of my favorites for sure. He is an absolute monster.
Well, I wanted to circle back to something really quick, Hugo. You said that on a bad day, Josh is going to total around like 103%, and you said there's around 3 other lifters that are in that ballpark. Is that who you're ticking off now and just covering those 3 lifters?
That's who I'm ticking off. So we've got at 104 on a good day, I've got Hung Pham, and he is my favorite just based off of projections, and then also the fact that he always lifts to a great standard. He's
got a devious pull.
He's got a devious pull. He's bulking into the weight class as well, which is something else that not a lot of other lifters on the day have the privilege of.
That helps the big boys a lot.
So he is going to be well fed for that squat with those big ass legs, and he's just going to be feeling good moving into bench press. So 104 points, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less, but he can beat Josh Takua if Josh Takua has a little bit of a unfortunate day. And then after that, I have Kana Chambara is looking really, really strong in his training. I mean, he doesn't post singles. I don't know if he does them or not. That's not my problem.
I reckon he does. Loki just posts his back off work. Or you reckon he just runs 3-2-1?
I think he just does 3-2-1.
No, I heard he ran nothing but triples internationals. Like he only did like 1 single or something. So that, I think I could be wrong, could be 100% butchering that, but I think I remember hearing that that John just ran him in with triples, and then on the day just like let him smack singles, and he went berserk.
If that's the case, right? I did a bit of a speed comparison of his last prep leading internationals.
Yeah.
And the video he posted recently, it was at the same weight, 265 kilos, and he moved at like a 1 RP less.
Yes, I would say Kana is looking devious, and I do think my personal belief is that he just does triples and then shows up on comp day and just has that dog.
Yeah, I think for him, like, even though it won't be likely for him to take first overall, or maybe if everyone just starts turbo trolling, because he is very consistent with his standards overall across the board. But if he does, he's probably going to be looking to chip Nathan Tannis's total that he did at that Adonis meet. So Nathan Tannis did 800 kilos.
Amazing.
And Kana looks like strong enough to do like the big old 300 kilos, set that standard.
Yep.
His bench, despite him having really long arms and like having a flat arch, he actually benches quite a bit.
He does.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, he benches freaking 185.
185, that's pretty good for an 83, but not as good as 190, isn't that right?
Yeah, that's true. Hey, bro, that's the only thing I got standing on right now, bro.
That's all right, bro. Stand on your business, man. Do what you need. But yeah, Kana, absolutely a monster. Absolutely a monster. The other person who could potentially take it, I have as Tom Chaplin. Very consistent lifter.
If he goes 9 for 9.
And everyone else does not.
Yeah, and there's a high likelihood. Like the top end that we're projecting for people is them on the best day they have ever had.
And these top end projections are risky at the end of the day.
Yeah, 100%.
And a lot of these lifters will probably have these numbers in their own mind.
Yeah.
And might be looking to take these sort of crazy numbers. But I think Tom Chaplin, a bit of a veteran of the sport.
Yeah.
He has got that dog. He will execute. I know he will. So he's someone else to look out for.
Especially like if people are going to be looking to take squat records, that's probably going to tank them really hard.
Yes.
Especially for the bigger boys with shorter rests. Like there's going to be like IPF level speed with maximum level intensities.
Well, there's only 12 lifters, which is going to be so quick compared to what a lot of the big boys are used to.
Yeah, and like the thing is like most of these boys are squatting like really close to each other.
Yeah.
Like within that 300 kilo range.
Yeah.
So
and
the plate loading is going to be pretty quick.
Yeah, and another thing. Yeah, you go.
I was going to say just quickly, the squat record is actually really high. I think it's like 312 or something from Murdad. So I don't actually know if anyone's going to push for the individual squat record. Maybe Yanni, since he's going to try and punch past that 315 mark. But I think the other boys are probably just going to leave it and just save the kilos for deads and not try and overreach, trying to push past that mark that's already quite high.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the game to play, is that squat record is a bit of a monkey paw, because you push that squat record and you're not going to have that much rest, right? And another problem to watch out for is, let's say you're opening last in the flight and then you take a smaller jump, you're going to get like sub 10-minute rests.
Yeah, that's not optimal.
Like that is...
Especially if you're a big boy.
Especially if you're a big boy. So I think that's definitely something to watch out for. And those big squats could potentially cook you very hard into bench and even into deadlifts, because the comp's going to be quick.
Yeah, for sure.
It's going to be quick. So really try to think hard about like, is this worth it? What's the cost to benefit ratio?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cracked. Like if you aren't SBD fit,
yes,
you're going to get like clapped really hard.
That's
by just the pace of the day.
I do think a lot of the lifters that are a bit more like volume horses, I have a bit more preference towards. So someone like Tom Chaplin, like he can tank it. He can tank it hard. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he can squat heavy and then go straight into heavy bench, right? But some of the other lifters on the day, they got to watch out for that and make sure that they're refeeding and nutrition is on point. And let's say hypothetically your back cramps on bench, you should buy Raz's ebook.
Buy my ebook.
Link up here, because you're just leaving keys on the table for no reason. Just buy the ebook. It's a tax write-off if you're a coach.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Like and subscribe while you're at it as well, bro.
Yeah, like and subscribe. Life of Raz, Life of Cortez podcast.
For sure. Now we gave our like insights. How do we see the day like sort of playing out? Like in the 52s, I see it being a very close battle. Given that Liz Craven has cut quite a bit of weight, I do think her deadlift actually looks really nice, and I wouldn't be surprised.
So she's holding on to strength like crazy, man. Like with her training purse, I'm like, she looks like she's a 57 still. Not physically, she looks obviously leaner, but her training looks the exact same.
Her deadlift position was already good, but it looks even better, which I didn't think was going to be possible.
She is looking like a cracked deadlifter at that 52 kilos.
So I wouldn't be surprised if like they maximize as much as they can, especially in the deadlift.
Yep.
Like if they do like 185.5, which I think could be very doable for her, that would be really cool to see.
Yep.
Just to put pressure, as much pressure as she can on like
The heavier.
Isabella, Beth, Yanni,
Yep.
as much
Agreed.
as possible.
And I think Alex Hayes is no stranger to game day coaching. And I mean, he's probably been thinking long and hard about his game day strategy for this. So I think Liz Craven is definitely.
Yeah, they're probably going to be pushing like the squat into the 145. Depending on how Liz's squat goes, it's going to be like 145 to 150.
Yes.
I think to be safe, they're probably just going to like take a record, just very chill, like 145, 146, somewhere around there.
Yep.
Bench press, I don't think that's where Liz's strong suit is.
No.
Like she's good at bench, but she's obviously not the best.
Yep.
I think that bench record will be taken by Kate Nax or Vicky.
Yes.
Vicky's probably going to be looking to get back on the bench press as well.
Yes, definitely. She's got that dog in her. She's got the redemption.
So it's probably going to be looking like for Vicky, like open at 87, 90, 92 and a half, or whatever chip she wants to play with. And
Yep.
Kate Nax could be well into that battle as well.
Definitely.
She opens around 87 and then jumps to 88.
Yep.
We'll see how that battle plays out.
Definitely. That'll be a very close one, game of chips. But yeah, definitely something with people whose specialty is not bench press. I just generally find it's better to play a conservative of the day, leave 2.5 to 5 on the table and save it. Because if you miss that third bench, put them in a position where they've got to pull something really heavy.
I also think Vicky will actually do pretty well in this meet as well.
I think Vicky's going to do great.
Despite her squat, I mean her deadlift not being like national record
Yeah,
level.
it's not like crack level.
For the
It's-
52s. For the 52s.
For
At
the
the 47,
52s.
she's great.
She's goated.
But I do think that Liz and Jin could eventually out deadlift her. I do have her at 175, so ultimately winning in her weight class is probably not going to be up to her. But I do put her subtotal to be really high and competitive. And I think she's going to be like well within that high percentage for the 52s.
I definitely agree with Raz on this one. I sort of have Vicky as a bit of a favourite of mine. But we'll discuss that later when we go to hot takes.
Yeah. And then Kate Nax, I think given that she's also had some previous run-in with injury, we don't entirely know what her squat and deadlift will be.
Yes.
If she has a great day and she just pops like 5 ibuprofens, like
Yeah,
a bit of hamstring tendinopathy,
the
we love that.
five ibuprofen, couple diclofenac. Mate, you good for it.
We don't know what type of Kate will show up, but if she has a really good day, she does have a chance to potentially sneak her way above Vicky. And I think Jin being the national champion, the current national champion, I think she'll also have a final say in the deadlift as well.
Yeah, definitely. There's just something very valuable about being able to have that final say, right? Like, it's sometimes Hail Mary pulls work. Half shot, you know what I mean? Half court shot. But yeah.
Now let's go to 69. How do you see that battle playing out, boys?
I'll let David have this one. I've been yapping too much.
Yeah, that's all right. So this is an interesting one. So obviously, Kate Atia had a crazy performance last year in that weight class. And from what I can tell, she's only gotten stronger since then as well. I know she was eating a fair bit of food. Like you said, we were all kind of thinking she was getting up to 76. So she's had a really good run. Was probably putting on a bit of weight, sitting a little bit heavier, training at that body weight, and just really putting on some kilos. And her progression's been steady. Like every comp, man, she just PRs total every comp she does. So this is probably going to be the exact same thing. I imagine she's going to do really well. So I definitely see her going above the record. The interesting thing is going to be Britt Romas. So we mentioned that she's just cut down to 69s. And from what we could tell, she hasn't taken a huge dip in strength, but she did tweak her back, I think, last week. So around 2 weeks out, she tweaked her back. She seems pretty positive about it. I don't know what that means for her comp day. I know she's no stranger to this back injury thing either. So I think she's dealt with this a ton of times coming into competition, and she's always seemed to show up regardless. So I do think we are going to see a relatively strong Brit regardless of this. Something that I was really looking out for was Hannah Altman in the 69s. She just competed at Commonwealths last week. I was expecting her to push the record, not only the total, but also push the bench record out of reach for Brit, because we've seen Hannah bench 115, 117 before. But she didn't have the best day. She didn't have pushing I think she pushed the record to like 106 on bench. So, Brit can hit that. And the total record was, also fine. So, I think it's going to be really, really interesting, like 1v1 battle here. Particularly because we don't know how Kate's going. She doesn't post training. And we don't know how Brit's going to show up because of her back.
So I also haven't seen Kate in the gym
really
either.
Yeah, I haven't seen Kate in the gym. I think she's on the demon hours now that she's
Not only is she demon hours, she's like flicking between Queensland and coming down here.
yeah, but she is a workhorse. Like I've seen her come in after like overnight shifts, and she's just
a dog.
She just gets it done.
she's got that dog.
Yeah, but I think Kate is definitely in the front running for take the deadlift record.
Oh, for sure.
She could arguably, like, if everyone doesn't have a great day, she could be like one of the final pulls.
Definitely.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, she'll pull like 210 plus, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think she did 215. I think she's probably going to be looking to load like that for reps.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, she'll be one of the vast deadlifters for sure.
Yeah, I think, a bit of an uphill battle in that specific weight class for her, but she does have that dog. She's very consistent, works hard. You never know. That's all I got to say.
And as you mentioned, I think Britt is definitely a favorite to take that bench press record. She'll probably take 107 on her second, and then based off her previous comp records and totals, it's been hovering around that 110, 112 range.
Mm-hmm.
So she can use whatever chips she wants for that, and she's also probably likely to take the squat record as well.
Yep.
Depending on how her her squat shows up on the day, she is dropping down a weight class. But to be honest, she's always been kind of a light 76 kilo lifter. So I don't think cutting for her is going to be too much of a dramatic impact on a squat. So I do have her at her best. She could probably score like around that 180 range again at 69 kilos, which would definitely bump her money up on the day.
Get the money up, not the funny up. Ain't that right, boys?
That's it.
That's it. That's the aim of the game. Moving on, 76. We've got Shania. Definitely a very stacked 76 class. But Shania's got that huge pull on her. So
Yeah, I think she'll definitely be in the running to take that deadlift record, to be honest.
definitely, what is the deadlift record sitting
It's
at?
too I believe it's standard.
Yes, 210.
210, yeah.
210 standard. That's
So
correct.
she's probably going to be looking to take like around that range of 215 to 220
Yeah,
as well.
definitely.
Yeah, her 205 training pool was great. Like there was definitely kilos left in that. So
And she does perform quite well on comp day as well. And
Yeah, she does.
still got room in this weight class to be eaten up, doing well. So
Yeah.
definitely an exciting lifter to
I
see.
just think that she needs to improve on her subtotal in order for her to like kind of
Be in the running.
match the Isabella and stuff like that.
I mean, yeah, that's just
well, her bench has gone up a fair bit as well. She benched 92 earlier this week. So her bench has come up a fair bit. I know she was dealing with some knee pain or has been dealing with knee pain for months, and that also seems to be pretty much on the mend now as well. So I think we are going to see a really good showing from her. Provided, obviously like everyone, if she makes lifts, we should see a really good total. And she'll be edging on that close to 500 border, which seems to be a really good standard for the 76ers.
Yep, agreed. Next we have Kelly Fagan.
Strong squat.
Has anyone seen her lift before?
I haven't seen her
I
lift.
stalked her open powerlifting pretty hard.
Yeah, that's sort of all I could find as well.
She has a freaking stacked resume, but
Oh, crazy stat.
Dude, she's competed heat.
yeah, she's like close to 50 as well.
And she's squatting like 2. It's like insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah, she's kind of cracked. She can definitely take a squat record if Isabella doesn't have the best day.
Yeah, well, I mean, Isabella, like, I think I always keep up to date with everyone's stories. I try and keep my eyes on the weight classes I have athletes in. But I saw Isabella, like, at the start of prep, she squatted 200, like a random max out at the start of her prep. And then I think it was last week or the week before, she just missed it. And I was like, damn, okay, this is really interesting, because in my mind, she was just going to go and squat to bench 105, pull 220, and it was just game over. Like, no one's even close. But after seeing that, it's like the door could open, if something goes wrong, if people miss, cutting, anything like that.
The door could definitely open, but I do think, I mean, if you just watch her training, it's very sort of like, almost like that RTS type of thing, where sometimes she just shows up like crazy.
Yeah, like
Yeah, and we'll probably see that on the day.
Yeah, because she failed she fed like 100 bench or something, and then the week after she did 110, 150, something like that.
105 or something.
Crazy, and it moved good, right? And she has missed a couple lifts in this prep, but I think she's kind of just limit testing, seeing where she's at. But I do think on the day she'll lock in. You know, this is going to be something to actually like kind of stimulate her. And that's something that's also going to be there for Beth, right? Like a lot of the athletes who haven't had much competition, when they actually have the competition is going to be it's different.
Yeah.
Because she definitely a very decorated lifter, got that dog.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
So I think Isabella's probably in the front running to take that squat and deadlift record, especially. I think the bench record is like really high. It's like 115, right?
let me check that.
It's 115 for the 76. I don't think
It's standard at 115, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, the 69s will bench more than the 76s, but that's still pretty crazy.
Very crazy.
Yeah, we'll see how Isabella shows up. And here's a matchup that I'm the most excited for: Beth versus Yanni, like version 4, version 5. This battle is going to be very tightly contested, I believe, and it's just going to be a matter of who makes lifts.
Yes, definitely. I think this is sort of what I'm actually most looking forward to on the day, the battle between these two sort of titans. I mean, Beth's been undisputed queen of the weight class for God knows how long. She has said before, I believe she said, I wish someone would challenge me.
Yeah, and now we have Yanni.
Now she is challenged, so executioner dog, you know, she's just veteran. She will do great, and same thing for Yanni as well.
I think Beth has had a very great prep so far.
Yes.
Pulling like all-time PRs. Her bench looks very on.
Yep.
She was having some issues with her squat, but to be honest, it all looks like it's on the come up right now, and she's probably going to be doing her last heaviest squat in the next 3 hours.
Yep.
So we'll know and have an update for that.
Yeah.
But I did think Yanni did squat 205.
Yes. Yanni is still looking really strong. Her deadlift, she just narrowly missed 210 or 212.
212.
Because she didn't chalk her hands.
Yeah.
Alex is going to be there just with a brick in his hand the whole time during deadlift.
Yeah. I mean, and that predisposition to maybe we have a little troll. That's something to watch out for Alex, you know, keep his blood pressure nice and high. But she can definitely take it. Like, it's so close between the two.
Yeah, it is anyone's game, right? It's like the subtotal versus the deadlift, where Yanni's got the bigger squat, Beth's got the bigger bench. It kind of evens out a little bit, and then at the moment, Beth's got the pull. So it's going to be this crazy back and forth between who comes into deadlift with the most kilos and then who can execute their third pull.
Or who comes into deadlifts with the most chalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, with the taper, Yanni could go crazy.
Yeah, and Alex Hayes was alluding to a
220-ish pull.
Yeah,
I think he was
last
saying.
prep they did 205, and then she ended up pulling up like 212 on the day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was plus 7.5. I don't remember the number, but yeah, plus 7.
Yeah, she does taper pretty well. And Alex Hayes kind of has that previous data, which is very valuable.
So he's probably looking at like that 220, 222 mark, and Beth is probably going to be looking at the same.
I think on the day, it's not even going to be who plays the game better. It's just which athlete actually executes perfectly.
Sure. I hope they don't get too
close to where they both Icarus themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but also to where like they both just get too caught up in the records.
Yes.
Like it's like, yeah, this record will be cool to have, and like I want to see like 8 for 8 going into the last pool, and it's like, all right, the fade is in your hands.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. I mean, like the $150 for the record, or 1.5 bands. You know what I mean? Like, think about the money, guys. That's 10x your investment if you go 9 for 9, guys. Come on.
Yeah, for sure. And you get like all this free SBD kit as well.
Bro, looks cool.
That looks kind of cool.
Looks cool. All right, moving on to the men's. Let's get through it. I haven't been keeping up too much with Andrew's training.
I don't think he's been posting much.
He hasn't been posting much. Very consistent lifter. I think we're going to see him probably put up pretty similar to what he put up
at Worlds.
Back-to-back
meets as well.
Back-to-back meets. But he does have, that dog in him, like we've said before. Definitely looking to put up something nice.
I think he'll try beat his own record. His own record is like 234 or something like that. He's probably going to be looking at 235, just a nice chill chip. And you already know he's already hunting for his own deadlift record.
Yes, 265 is the standard.
Oh, standard, yeah. He doesn't even have it.
Standard.
Yeah, it's 265, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's going to be looking to get that.
Yep.
That's going to be a 50-50 play as well. Like, if he gets it or not, like, he's probably going to be taking a 255 jump. And considering he's not really getting pushed by anyone, it'll be like 255 straight into 265.
Yeah, definitely. I think
He's also going to be deadlifting very first as well. So he's got, he's got no cards to play when it comes to deadlift. It's just going to be make the third deadlift and then just see where the cards fall. So I think if it comes down to it, he's probably going to play conservative and ignore the deadlift record and just go for how can I max my total, put myself in a chance here if people start just missing their thirds.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on, we have Kayan. Very, very, very strong performance I'm expecting out of him. He hasn't posted too much training, I don't believe.
He has posted a little bit. It's mainly a lot of his rep work stuff.
Yeah, he's hiding his training. But really, really strong athlete, very well-rounded. But the thing to watch out for him, don't push that squat too hard.
Yeah.
Just, for the lighter weight classes, like, you kind of just really have to just go 9 for 9.
I don't think he should try challenge Steve's squat record at 283 and a half.
I think
believe.
that...
No way. He failed like 271 at Nats, didn't he? Or 271 at his last comp?
I believe so, yeah. 271. I mean...
I don't think he's even in range of that. I'm actually projecting him to break the total record. I think he's going to go 10 times body weight. I reckon he's going to hit 740.
Yeah, what's
Really?
the total record? 736.5. I do think he can be.
Yep, I think he takes that. If he has a good day, doesn't troll, I reckon he's actually good for the 10 times.
Yeah, he might even bench records 176.5. I believe that's potentially within range if he has a crazy good day as well. But
Yeah, he has been training on the V2 as well for all my Melbourne people.
yeah, all the Melbourne people.
Yeah.
That is a bit of a debuff going from USAPL to APU. APA, sorry. Not APU.
Well, in Melbourne, yeah, a lot of the Melbourne people, I'm actually pretty concerned.
Yeah, because those Goliath benches, I mean, I've benched on a couple of them. It's like you're cheating.
Yeah, for
It's
real.
not the same.
You're cheating.
Like, it's straight out is, bro. Like, you take your shirt off and you bench on a Goliath, you basically got like a multiply suit on. Let me keep it $150, would you? Like, bro, put me on that shirtless Goliath bench. Get the crowd yelling at me, bro. I'm benching 200, bro. It's like straight
Free
out.
buff.
Come on, bro. It's too OP, bro. The V2, it giveth and it taketh, but the city strength V2 is actually quite nice to bench on, I believe.
Yeah, because Mitsu friggin' bashes it.
Yeah, bro. Mitsu the GOAT, bro. Shout out Mitsu.
Mitsu does his 80 sets a week on it. It's worn in.
80 singles a week, you mean, bro? He's the GOAT.
Bro,
Come on now.
The pad there is like warning on where his ass will be.
Yeah,
That's
true.
that's how much he bashes the bench. Like there's like wear marks on his ass from just putting his ass down on the bench. And
Yeah.
even then, I love you, Mitsu, but like borderline, his ass not even touching the bench too.
It's keys, bro. It's keys. He's training for when they make the bench thicker. So,
Yeah,
But-
he's training for the V3, bro.
I mean, low key, like, I reckon if you put like a black light on that V2, you could see Mitsu's face. Shout out Mitsu, we love you, bro. But yeah, it's a good V2. I mean, definitely something to watch out for. A lot of the Melbournes don't have that neurotic V2 sense in them. Sometimes you bench on a V2, you're like, man, this is a whole ass bench, man. Fuck this bench. And it just takes everything from you. It takes it all. We have that one curse bench at Omega.
yeah,
Oh Jesus, you bench on that thing,
yeah.
bro. It says like rack height 666 on it. It's not right. But you bench on the other one, it's like, oh hell yeah. So it's something to watch out for all the Goliath enjoyers. Yeah, you got to watch out for the V2. Moving on, 83s. James Lee. He's got a bit of a fried knee. James Lee fried knee. I mean, jeez, what a silly bugger. I mean, probably one of the silliest buggers I've ever seen. I mean, that flex training systems, those 4-week blocks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough.
It's gonna be pretty variable for James. We don't know what exactly he can do. I've seen him in the gym.
Yeah, so James's bench is actually on a bit of a come up, which is nice to see.
Yeah, good.
And his deadlifts do look pretty good, but his knee is pretty fried. So it kind of just depends on like how much diclofenac he wants to take, or if he even wants to push it.
I think he told me he's gonna take anti-inflammatories for the first time.
Yeah, first time today. He's doing his primary squat today, and
Oh shit! Everyone's doing their heavy
yeah.
work,
It
bro.
will determine it will determine his fate. And then after that, we have Emilio. I mean, that guy is he's a funny ass guy. Come on, we love Emilio. You never know with him, to be honest. He can just alley-oop a win. Like, he's like a half court, eyes closed, just shoot, and he could get it in.
He could alley-oop, and then he could dunk it, or he can alley-oop and completely miss the target.
Yeah, alley-oop, and then like jump into the crowd and rupture his ACL. But,
oh, God forbid.
Metaphorically. But he is a really strong lifter, super strong, got a lot of experience as well, something to note.
Yeah.
Strong bench.
Especially for these big meets, quicker turnarounds. Like,
Emilio is good for it all. Like, any sort of external variable that's going to cook some of these lifters, I just don't think it cooks Emilio like that.
Yeah.
I just think he's got such like insane adaptability. Because I mean, this guy's pre-work
doesn't care.
Yeah, no, like his pre-workout used to just be like a durry. Like he's good for it.
No, he just doesn't care.
His post weigh-in meal is a Marlboro Red, and he's gonna show up and squat something good.
That's what I'm putting my money on, bro.
That's my boy. That's my boy Emilio. Yeah, bring the Marlboro Reds.
Yeah.
And tell him to bring out the whole case.
Bro, this guy would be making rollies.
Yeah, rollies, true.
Meal prepping, bro. He's been getting his Maccas in. He's so good for it.
He's meal prepping. He goes to the tobacconist and buys like the import cigarettes. That's his meal prep. It's cheaper.
He just buys a pouch and then just starts rolling.
Yeah, meal prep is he rolls a bunch of stories before he lives. He's on the sardine hustle at the moment. But yeah, with Emilio, I mean, it just kind of depends on what he squats, right? So he's got the bench.
That'll have to keep him in the game. If he can squat enough, that'll keep him in the game so he can just rip out a monster pull.
He's got the bench. He's got the deadlift. I think kind of he just has to squat like 270.
Yeah. He's definitely in the front runner for a deadlift, but to take that record.
Oh, 100%. I think the deadlift's like 312, right? The deadlift record, it's standard. So like he's gonna blow past that.
I think Kana's probably gonna be looking to take 315 just to get that 802, 800.
I think Kana could take it, but then Emilio's going to take it
and
afterwards.
And then Emilio's probably going to take it directly after.
I mean, it depends on. I mean, he might just like clout pull his way. Like he might just
like 330. I'm thinking like top end 330.
I think 330 if that guy has 2 durries.
2 durries.
I think he's good for 330.
I think second 316. And then third is 330.
Yeah, I think if he goes 316, it's actually a really good denial on Kana as well. Taking away Kana's chip because that 316.5 might be a little bit too much for him.
Yeah, and also like Kana, I believe he doesn't pull that heavy in training.
I think he's probably going to look to hit maybe like 280, 285 for a triple.
I think that was the number I saw.
Yeah, I think that'll probably be about what his final triple's going to be. So, yeah, I mean, he can do it though. I mean,
he can do like 310, 315, but he's looking at Nathan Tannis for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's looking well beyond the sort of national scene even. He's looking towards that world scene. Moving on, we have Kana. I mean, he's crazy. He's really, really crazy. Very, very strong athlete. I mean, so much talent and so much hard work. Like, that strong base has just really, really come through for him. I mean, something to keep out for all the other lifters out there is, like, this guy hasn't specialized in powerlifting for that long and he's already a monster.
Yeah.
Like, get really jacked, work really hard, and, like, SBD is going to come to you later. You know, like, it's not... Like, how long has this guy been strength training for? Like,
he only did his last local competition like last year this time.
I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Last year in June.
That's insanity. Yeah. And he's probably been strength training since he's, 12, 14?
Yeah,
like, there's a reason his Instagram is Kana Strong, right? Like, he's actually like a demon. Like, this guy could probably pull down everyone at the whole comp. Like, he's just like a monster, you know. Put him on the machine chest press, he's pooing on everyone. Like, he's legit crazy. And something to be said about that raw strength is really, really valuable in competitions. I mean, raw strength, I think, is just so much more valuable than, like, sort of technical strength. You know what I mean? Like, just shows up.
He's definitely going to be looking at the squat record.
Squat record for sure.
I reckon he'll be around 300, 302.
Yep, agreed. And the current record's 290.5, so I think he can probably...
Yeah, it's his record, and I think he's probably going to try to look to chip Nathan Tannis.
Yeah.
For that all-time squat record.
Which is 3...
It's either 300 or 305.
Yeah, something around that range. And I think he's good for it. I think he'll be like, I want to be the best squatter of all time in the 83s. He can also, I mean, depending on how his bench goes, he can even take that bench record. It's 186. I mean, he can
definitely do 186, man.
Yep.
which is kind of cracked. And then that's like $300. And then like, let's say Elmo trolls a little bit.
Yeah,
Like,
he can
that's
take the pull.
$450. And
And
let's
then
say
give
take
him
a
the prize
podium
money.
spot.
And the total as well. That's another 150.
Yeah, right.
So that's
Yep.
600,
Shit.
2.1K. Could be a big payday for my boy Connor. Big ups, Connor. Best of luck, my friend. You're good for it.
All right. Josh Takua. We don't need to talk too much about this guy, Imo. He's probably in the front running to take all four
Agreed.
and run away with most of the
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming in.
Yeah.
He's coming out with the money.
The basically winning is basically going to be in his ballpark.
Yep.
If he trolls, that's on him. If he
Yep.
has a great day, that's on him.
Yep.
Please hit standards, and you should be good for it.
Yep, definitely. I mean, I just think, I mean, what's his, I mean, you have his bench projected at like 185-ish. I mean, he's good for like way more on everything. He can take,
Yeah, he's so strong now.
he can, I know, it's like crazy. So squat record's currently 310. I mean, Ewan Belgrove does have a chance of beating Josh if he misses his third squat for sure.
Yeah, but it's mainly like the pull.
I mean, the pull and the push,
The pull and
And
the push is...
it's just ridiculous. Like he's got the same squat as Ewan, but the pull of Simon Shahade and the bench of no one else in 93s. So it's like, you can't beat this guy. Like you can't beat this guy, bro. Like
He's
you
actually
actually,
the best bencher in 93.
yeah.
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 93s are notorious for being the best benchers.
Yeah,
right?
they're not great bench presses.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you 93s, guys. Come on. But yeah, Josh Takua, very strong. That's the favorite to win overall. I mean, he can put upwards of, what do we have, like 110% of the record if he has a crazy day. Like that's not even, like it's a crazy day, but it's not an unfathomably crazy day. So
Yeah. All right. One Ewan,
Ewan, yep.
squat record.
Squat record. That's probably the name of the game. Squat record. Have fun on bench. Have fun on deadlifts. Have a couple beers.
Yeah.
Yeah, get the $150. Spend that on a couple beers.
Yeah. Fucking
Yeah,
six,
2 or 3 cartons.
two 24 packs of Tuies.
Sounds good to me. But yeah, Ewan Belgrove, really, really strong squat. I mean, he's having a bit of fun in his training. Push, 310 for 4 or something crazy? Monster.
Something silly like that.
Yeah, something silly. Can definitely squat something insane. I mean, it's the same thing as Josh. He's kind of got to watch out for the depth. The chunkier you get, the harder it is to hit that depth.
Yeah.
Like you're almost too efficient.
All right.
But yeah,
105s.
105s. This is the battle to watch
Tom,
for the men's. Tom, I mean, Davey, you take it. I haven't seen
bench
in
record.
person.
So yeah, like Raz just touched on there, he did bench the bench record earlier this week or last week. I think it was last week on his primary session, which I think is tomorrow. So we'll see what he hits this week. But yeah, he did hit the bench record at 205 last week. He has put a ton on his deadlift. I think most of us saw that pull. Pulled 6 reds, pulled 320. And it moved quite comfortably. Like it looked like there was 7.5 to 10 kilos left in that pull. Obviously that's done fresh. That's not after squatting, over 300 kilos. But it has made, leaps and bounds since nationals. Training is looking good. He's got his final squat tomorrow. So again, we don't really know where he's going to land for that. Like a lot of people, they're doing their last heavies right now. But I think he is in a great place right now. So he definitely fumbled the bag a little bit at nationals on bench. So I think he's definitely going to be looking for some redemption there. And then he's not going to be pulling super, super early this time. And he does have the ability to push the deadlift out further now and actually, extend people past what they're able to pull.
Definitely.
You should just go 9 for 9, to be honest, and
Yep.
just watch people just
Watch people
crash and
fumble.
burn.
Benching on comp day is most commonly fumbled thing.
Um,
It's a difficult thing to manage. But next we have Yanni, and I'm really rooting for Yanni. I mean, longtime friend of mine. He's very, very nice guy.
squat record.
Squat record, maybe even bench record.
As well.
Yeah, he's up there with bench for sure.
Definitely up there. I mean, his bench, he's been benching 200 plus for a really long time now. Had to adjust to the depth rules, but I think he's very well within depth these days. He's definitely got that very sort of arousal style of lifting
Yeah.
where it's very double-edged sword. I mean, I can speak from personal experience, but it can give you and it can take, right? So if Yanni has a good day and uses his arousal really effectively, he can take that squat record, maybe take that bench record, and then look to just be in the running for deadlifts. I mean, he could even, he said before that he wanted to pull 320
Yeah.
and squat 320 at this comp.
I think he's in the front running to squat 320.
I have him as my favorite for the squat record.
Squat record, yeah.
And he's definitely up there with Tom Chaplin on bench. But his bench is a bit more inconsistent than Chaplin's because he has to sink so much more. So he might get a really long press command.
All right. Now let's move on to Hung.
Hung is a monster. I mean,
deadlift record
for sure. And total record, I have him. I mean, final pull, final say, bulking into the weight class. Just, he's the monster.
Dude, he can pull 360, man. What is that?
That is yuck. That is
That is so dumb.
That is yuck. Like, how does he like? And it's not even like oh, I mean, look at the leverage on the guy. It's like, okay,
Yeah, he's just so strong.
The muscles.
he's just like, oh, I need my car towed. Let me call Hung. He can just carry it. Like, it's like ridiculous. Like 360 is dumb. That's so dumb.
So dumb.
So he's probably gonna end the day on the pulls up there with Butterworth. It's ridiculous. So,
don't get pulled by 105.
Yeah, I mean, shout out Hung. I mean,
Yeah,
hey, if I need my car towed, I'll hit you up, bro. You can carry that bitch home, bro. You're so fucking strong. Like, holy shit. Yeah, I mean, I think definitely he's looking to prove something as well. I mean, with the 822 one day after nationals, I mean, he was just,
Dude, it's the IPF debut. It's at Sbd Cup, like a crazy big event. He's going to be thrown in with the podium lifters from 105. It's like it doesn't really get any more hype than this to see what nationals in February is going to look like after we see how he performs.
it's also just going to get a lot of eyes on him as well. I mean, he's well known within USAPL, but within APA circles, not super well known. So I think he's really just going to show up and just go crazy.
I reckon for him, dead and total.
Dead and total, yeah. I have him
He has
for
a
dead and
final
total.
say.
Final pull, final
Yeah,
say.
total. I agree.
All right, Michael Rand, the guy who's pretty balanced at everything. We don't know what weight class he's going to be competing in,
Mystery man.
but I have him to also take the total. He's pretty balanced on all three.
Yeah.
I just don't think.
Yeah, bro, he's good. And he's a veteran too, like we've said.
Oh, geez, just like so consistent.
He did get extended a bit at Worlds, and also he probably has learnt from his mistakes from Nationals.
Yep.
I don't have him taking an individual record per se, but I do have him in the front running to push that total potentially.
Yeah.
If the people above him, because he's not the best at any of the three, but he's really up there, he's like top three.
Yeah.
If everyone just starts trolling, he could just low-key just sneak in.
Yeah, and I mean his pull. I mean it's not as good as Hong's, but it's still
Up there?
It's the
Top two?
Yeah, top two. Probably going to be the third last pull of the day,
Bench press, top three, maybe top two,
and squat probably
top
three, top four. Yeah,
top four. There's only 4 people.
they're strong squatters, man. They're strong squatters.
True. They all squat roughly the same, but
Yeah.
I think he's top 2.
I'm just going off
Yeah,
open
it's
powerlifting.
crazy.
Just going off open powerlifting. But yeah, Michael Rand can definitely take the day. Very consistent. But at the end of the day, another thing to consider is like, do these world level athletes want to go crazy at this comp? You know,
Yeah.
like we can project all we want, but like, some of these athletes, they just might be like, I might just go in, get this record, $150, go eat a hamburger, go home, right? So yeah, it just depends.
Yeah, it's true.
If everyone's pushing, it'll go sort of how we've planned it. But some people might just be like, I'm here for fun.
All right, Sam,
Sam Butterworth. I mean, he's been looking great.
deadlift record.
Deadlift record for sure. I mean, it's still the standard. He's fine. He doesn't have the Tonganator putting all that pressure on him as well, which is great. Can just pull what he wants to pull. Squat's been improving really well. The squat record is still standard at 322. I mean, that's a bit out of range. It's a bit of a reach. But yeah, he's looking great. Anything else you wanted to say about Sam Butterworth and Mr. David?
Not really, man. I think, like we've said before, Sam is a veteran of the sport. He's been around for a very, very long time. He's been in the 120 class kind of by himself for a very long time. He hasn't really had anyone to challenge him, similar to Beth in that instance. So I think he's really pleased that, Tonganator is essentially lit a fire under his ass, beat him last year, and now it's kind of like, what kind of athlete are you? And with his mentality, he's up for the challenge. He'll be fighting for every kilo, and I think he's got something to prove because he wasn't super stoked with his nationals performance. Like he had just recently started with Jason from TSG. They had a decent run in at States, and then they didn't quite put it together for nationals, which was unfortunate. But it seems like they've collected some data, they've made some good changes in training, and he should be by all accounts showing up really strong for this comp. So we'll just see what he puts together on the platform. I think he does have aspirations to just do the classic, like, go 8 for 8, not be greedy. There's no reason to try and overextend early, because at the end of the day, it is just a local competition, even though there is all this external stuff attached to it. So I think he's going to have a good showing. There's less pressure. He's going to just go out, have fun. And I think he should have a great day. And I think that ends with him taking the total record and the deadlift record.
Awesome. I'm very excited to see. Now into hot takes.
Who wants to get started?
I think Raz needs to kick it off. I feel like he's itching.
He's itching, bro. He's like, I got this hot take. Let me tell you.
All right. No bit of a glaze. I think Beth will win. The women's.
That's in the notepad for me as well.
Because like she's very balanced at all three. If she has the top end day that I think she's capable of having, she can go 195, 135 or 134, whatever, and then she can just pull whatever she needs to win.
Yep.
And I think that's the biggest advantage for her. She does generally go 9 for 9. I think the only missed lift that she had was nationals, which was just due to the fact that she trolled the walkout or the walk-in a little bit. So
yeah,
she trolled herself there, but
Yeah.
I think she's in the front runner to win.
Yep.
Liz, IMO will come second just because she doesn't have the final pull.
Yeah, definitely. Yep, makes sense.
And Yanni's probably going to be somewhere in there as well. She's either going to be third
Or second. Yeah.
Third or second, and I have Vicky coming in at third or fourth.
Yeah, so my hot takes for the women's, pretty similar. I kind of really just think this is a bit of a storybook moment for Beth, and I think she can just really just take it, to be honest. I mean, she's been begging and pleading for a worthy challenge, and she's really got one now. Very good lifter under pressure as well. I mean, you look at her open powerlifting, very few misses, very good at going 9 for 9. Kelly Mann's got a lot of really good data for her as well. I mean, I just think that there's just going to be a really, really great showing from her. That's not to discount any of the other female lifters. They're all looking really strong, but I just have Beth as my favorite because she's get the final say. And that final say, I think it's going to give her the hype she needs to pull it. She's also got chips. She's got everything she needs. Her handling team is likely going to be
Dave.
Dave?
Dave.
Are you handling her?
I'm in the mix with Kelly for that, yeah.
I mean, and definitely the spreadsheets will be pulled out for that competition.
Yeah, shout out Danny Lee for the spreadsheet. We've got one prepped and ready. I'm gonna chime in on that as well quickly. Like I'm also a huge Beth fan. She's sick. Love Beth a lot. I have to, I guess, go against the boys here. Not that I don't think she can or won't win, but just to play devil's advocate, I think it's really hard to bet against someone like Isabella. Like, again, veteran, same thing as Beth, has been competing just as long, if not longer. Tons of international experience. Granted, she hasn't been on the platform in a while, and that could do things mentally. I just think it's hard to discount the fact that she is just so brutally strong. And if she does have a half decent showing, like she's right up there at that same percentage as Beth. So again, it's going to come down to who just executes, who makes lifts. And, you know, she does also have a rather large pull. Like, I don't think loading 220 is a huge stretch for Isabella, which is right up there with Beth. So who plays chicken, who misses, who doesn't, it's going to come down to that final pull.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you on that. I mean, Isabella's just like very, very, very veteran lifter. I mean, and yeah, there's that huge advantage. She's got that big pull, not out of the question. But I just think, you know, it can go anyone's way between the top sort of 5 nominated lifters. But just, it depends on if she shows up on the day. Her training's a little bit inconsistent at the moment. And I don't think she has that as much data going into this competition as someone like Beth or Yanni, who have really good, fresh data, very predictable performance on the day. But yeah, definitely a very tight battle. Like when I'm saying Beth by like 0.01 points. Like it's a close day.
Beth the GOAT.
Beth the GOAT. That's not just because we're on the Output podcast. But That's not why, bro. I swear. I would put me on city strength. I'm saying the same shit. Come on now.
Oh god, bro, for real.
But yeah, that'll be a great day to watch. Very exciting.
Another hot take.
Another hot
Video
take
boys.
for me. I got Hung. Hung's winning.
Hung's winning.
Hung is winning.
Get him back to Kua.
I love Takua, strong guy, but man, look, Hung is just he's a different kind of demon. He's a different kind of demon. He's from some evil village. I don't know how strong he is. I don't know how he gets that strong. He is just ridiculous. 360 kilos is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And Takua is fighting an uphill battle against himself. He's been competing in all these different federations.
Some
I mean,
dodgy standards.
bro, he can do a GPC squat, and that's just like 5 red lights at an APA comp. So it's really tough for him. And also, he doesn't have a V2 at his gym, doesn't he? He benches on
an ATX.
He trains on an ATX.
Stiff.
It's not the same thing, bro. What, bro? My brother Paul Yuki, he can tell you it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
So definitely an uphill battle. I mean, it's just him versus him.
Bro, and the guy, like, when you look at his open powerlifting, back in the day, like 2019, homie was missing all the time. But his last few meets, man, like all his USAPL meets, is like he's always going in like basically 6 for 6 going into deadlifts, and then he's chilling. So I think if he plays his cards right and he just is smart, makes good attempts, he is in a really good spot. And I think, yeah, it, like you said, it's Josh's day to lose if he or Josh's day to win if he just, you know, doesn't troll and, you know, plays conservative, doesn't do a UN at junior worlds, just conservative, chill, hit it.
The reason I'm saying Hung is just because it's a hot take. Yeah. Hung winning is a hot take.
Hung winning is a hot take.
Takua might just want to have a bit of fun. I mean, he
get a big payday.
I mean, he can win. It's like his day to win for sure. He can just do it for fun, but it just, I mean, he might want to have too much fun.
Yeah.
And his deadlift does look like it could potentially be prone to a couple lockout issues as well.
Yeah.
And a lot of like more can go wrong for Takua than I feel for Hung.
For sure.
That's just sort of what I'm thinking about when I'm making that prediction. But then other than Hung, I mean,
you go.
I was going to say Kana is going to beat hot take. Kana is going to beat Nathan Tannis's record. He's going to be
the best 83.
The best 83 from Australia of all time. Yeah. And for next year, 10 times bodyweight total at nationals.
I think that's what Nathan and Kana have to do, right?
Yeah.
Especially if they want to like make their presence on the world stage, it's
10x or no. The only problem is Nathan, he's insanely strong, but he's just snapped up.
He's just chilling.
Yeah, injury prone.
He's snapped. Snap City, unfortunately. He's been doing the sport for so long. I mean, after 800 total, I mean, I saw him pin squatting 170 or so.
I think that's just him chilling, but
his adductor.
He also pulled 290 for 4 or 295 for 4 or something like a week ago.
Definitely. I mean, he's super strong, but I mean, Kana just doesn't have tendinopathy. Tendinopathy is the killer. It's like the killer of this damn sport. Like, holy. Kana definitely injury. I mean, I think his joints are made out of vibranium. So I think he's good for it for a while. You know, sort of that James Lee effect. He can live for 5 years before ever getting injured. So
yeah.
You got any other hot takes?
My semi-hot take is it's hardly even hot. I just think that KN is going to pop off. Like, again, provided he's smart with attempts, I think he's going to hit 10 times body weight. He's going to be the next 74 in Oz to do that. And that's really going to put the pressure on Leo, to perform next year at Nats. And I think it's the 74 battle is going to be awesome, man. Like, I think it's going to be really, really close. I think it's going to be really cool to see the 74 record get broken because between Steve and Leo, dude, there hasn't been anyone else that has challenged those two. It's just been those guys 1v1ing for years. And now that Steve's gone, it's really, really cool to see that someone has basically stepped up to the plate and is like, cool, like, Leo, you don't get a free ride, man. Like, you got to try and beat this guy.
Yeah, I think that's really awesome as well. And I mean, he's definitely got his head screwed on straight. Very, very smart with his own training. And he has that sort of like longevity dog is what I'll call it. It's just not on a course to burn out as well, which is good to see. definitely going to be a lot of battles between him and Leo in the future.
Yeah.
Yep. Any other hot takes?
My hot take is, if you're a high-level lifter, why are you gatekeeping your freaking list for the freaking Sbd Cup, bro?
That's a local comp.
Yeah.
That's a local comp, and you're going to gatekeep your list, bro.
That's some of the lamest stuff. And then, like, those are the same people who get mad at us. Or, like, people like us who are like, oh, yeah, you got us wrong. It's like, bro, just stop posting your lifts, bro.
Yeah, I definitely think, hiding your training is so insanely overrated.
Yeah, but it's, like, overrated
and lame.
Like,
Straight
you're doing
out.
it for a local meet.
Bro, if you're going to post the hype video that they made for you, post your own damn training.
For real.
Straight out. Like, I want to see it. Like, it's getting us more into the specific comp, and it's not really going to change how anyone else plays the day.
100%. And
I agree. Like,
I was just saying, I've said it before, but like, if you're basing your attempts on what other people are doing, like, you've probably already lost. Like, you should know what your own game plan is coming in, where your limits are, because the game doesn't really start until you get to that. I've gone 6 for 6. Now it's time to deadlift. Now this is where we start being like, yeah, where's the field looking like? Where am I situated? What do I do here? Like, there's a world obviously where if someone's pushed like a huge squat, you're probably gonna have to reach for as many kilos as you can because of that. But again, you're not gonna know that until they actually do their squats on the day. So it doesn't really change a huge amount.
It's that thing, right, where people are like, stepping over dollars to pick up pennies, right? Like, doing too much. It's not giving you what you think it's giving you. Like, the only time that specific strategy has worked really well was my boy Sam Forsberg at Nationals. Shout out Forsberg. I swear that's the one time it's actually paid off.
But even then, we saw it at state.
Everyone saw it coming. If you knew, you knew. That's straight out.
Yeah.
But shout out Forsberg. But I feel like that's the only time. And this comp isn't about weight class battles, so it doesn't matter.
And it's also like just growing the sport within Australia.
Straight out. Like, if you want to grow hype, get more Australian lifters on King of the Lifts. Like,
yeah, try building some hype around yourself.
More
market
people
yourself.
Yeah, bro. Like, more people like Shahade, bro. Like, just if you've got a ridiculous lift, if you're a deadlift specialist, man, post that shit. Put some corny edit. I don't care, man.
Some Brazilian
Get straight out, bro. Get everyone to tag King of the List. He's only 14. That's how we grow this sport. Like, straight out. We need the 14-year-old anomalies. Like, post your shit, man. Come on.
And if you get butthurt about us talking about you, like, it is what it is. You signed up to be.
Straight out. If you're competing at this comp and you've listened to this whole podcast, bro, come on now. Get back to training, bro. Get back to training, bro. What do you care about us, bro? We're like,
should sleep more, bro.
Bro, our cumulative GL on this chat is like fucking 85, bro. Just worry about yourself, bro. What are you doing? This is for the people. This is for the other people who don't have time to be pulling up spreadsheets and shit.
Yeah, for real. I don't know anything about you. We're doing your job for you, bro.
Yeah, bro. We're marketing for you. Yeah, bro. Sell your online programs, bro. We got you. Bro. Shout out all the Sbd Cup competitors. Next Saturday. Really exciting to see. Best of luck to all of you guys.
I'm hyped.
Probably the most hyped competition IPF Australia has ever sort of put together. Well, IPF Fed for Australia has ever put together.
Yeah, for sure. And it's been probably the best one in a long time. Something that we've always wanted.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm willing to see national records be made.
Yep.
Be broken. And hopefully no trolling. Like, it could very well be a 9 for 9 best day of lifting ever. Or
I'm sort of against you on the no trolling. I really want to see some insane trolling on the day, guys.
Yeah, it's
like,
make it awesome.
Make it fun, right? Like, dude, let the bar slip off your back. I don't know, bro.
Oh, God.
Like, I want to see some crazy shit. Like, whoever, bro, I want to see, like, you're like, this guy won? Like, yeah, that's what bro, come on.
I want to see some torn calluses in the opener and then somehow Hail Mary third.
Somehow he's winning it, though.
Yeah.
Give me the storylines, you know what I mean? But yeah, definitely exciting to see. And I think moving forward, the comp's only going to get better because the national records are a little bit silly at the moment. A couple standards still left in the mix. So those...
Yeah. This is something I wanted to touch on just quickly. I'm also hoping that next year at Nationals, there's some kind of selection criteria like there is for Sheffield, as in 95% of the national record, and if you win, you pretty much just guaranteed get an invite, so that people know that at Nationals, if I want to get an invite next year, this is what I need to do. So I hope they do post the selection criteria for next year, so people know, already, this is what I need to do. I just need to achieve this to get an invite. And then the whole wildcards thing will be like a good way to build hype where they can, then invite a couple of people.
Stuff like that. Yeah. I think that's I think that's another thing to be said about this comp. Bringing together the USAPL, bring them in. No more Goliath benches, bro. -5 on all you Melbourne lifters. Sorry, bro. Welcome to the V2. Make your gym spend 18 bands on a bench. Like, good luck, bro. Good luck. Straight out. Good luck to all you Melbourne guys.
You'll need it, bro.
Yeah, bro. You'll need it. And I'm telling you, those first 6 months on that new V2, bro, you're going to be suffering. Going to be going through hell.
But once you get good at it, you get really,
well, no,
really
that pad fresh out of the box is just straight ass.
It's straight ass.
It's like legit ass, like benching on
Yeah.
And like you need some big boys, like proper big benches to put some shifts on.
Yeah, get some neck sweat on it.
Yeah.
Like the perf bench. Shout out the perf bench. That shit's like fucking. That shit's
big one.
ergonomic.
It's so good.
Definitely put a black light on. You can see Tom Chaplin's neck. So.
And Dave's neck, bro.
Dave's big fucking neck as well as the widest one takes up the whole bench. But anything else wanting to be said, boys?
No. I think everything needs to be said.
Yep, perfect.
Don't gatekeep your lifts.
Don't gatekeep your lifts. Make some lifts.
If you're gonna troll hard.
Yep.
If you're gonna do really well, roll really hard.
Yeah, just make sure we're hitting comp standard. Make sure your nutrition isn't troll. Come on, guys. 4 p.m. weigh in, right?
And again, if you're listening to this podcast and you're competing, bruh,
no, it's too late.
You better go to bed, bro.
It's too late. Go to bed. But make sure 4 p.m. There's some considerations there for a lot of the lightweight lifters. Make sure your nutrition is dialed. Make sure your coach is dialed. Make sure you understand the scoring systems for all the coaches. And best of luck, guys. And if your nutrition sucks, buy Raz's ebook.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, boys. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you at David Hoffman Performation.
Yep. Hugo May at Stallion Strength Systems.
And thank you, guys. See you in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.